Yes, good afternoon. Yes, students. Today our topic is the classification of industries, in which we already discussed the industries based on its size and the industries based on inputs or raw materials, right? So today we will discuss the other basis, industries based on output or product, means finished products, right? So finished products which is directly or indirectly consumed by the consumers are known as finished products or output of the industry. And on the basis of output or product, there are two types of industries. First is the basic industry, and second is consumer good industries. Basic industries produce such type of finished goods which provide the base or which provide the raw material for another industries, right? For example, iron and steel industry, it produces iron from the iron ore. But when this iron is used in the machinery to build the machinery, then it provide the base to the machinery industry, right? So then it will become the basic industry. The another example, for example, we are making flour from wheat, right? If we use that flour in our houses, then it will be considered as a consumer good because it is consumed by the consumers. But if this flour is purchased by another industry like biscuit industry, and they made the biscuit from that flour, then the flour will be the basic industry, and the biscuit which will be consumed by the consumers, then it will be the consumer goods industries, right? So basic industries are those industries which produce raw material for another industries, while the consumer industries goods are directly consumed by the consumers, right? So these are the two types of industries based on output. Now the next is industries based on ownership, right? Who owned the industries? There are three types of industries on this basis. First is public sector industries, where the owning and the management is in the hand of government, right? So the industries belongs to the government are known as public sector industries, or in India we call it public sector undertakings. Mostly socialist economies are those economies who prefer the socialism, who do not believe in the private property. The all the property belong to the all society. So when the property belong to the all society, obviously it is public sector, and the industries in such sector are called public sector industry. For example, in India, Bhilai steel plant is established by government of India. Then that steel plant will be called public sector industry. Similarly, Bokaro steel plant, all these plants are established by the government of India. So these are the industries of public sector. Second is private sector industry. Private sector is industries are refers to those industries which are owned and managed by a single person or a group of person, that is called private sector industries, like Bajaj Electricals, right? So these Tata Steel and iron and steel plant, right? Tisco, right? So all these are called private sector industries because the ownership is in one hand. Mostly capitalist economies have mostly private owned industries. Capitalist economies are those economies who prefers the private ownership, private property, right? So all these economies have mostly private owned industries. In India, we have many of examples of private sector industries, as I gave you Bajaj Electricals, Tisco, and many more. And the third is joint sector industries, where the industries are owned and managed by the government as well as the private or individual persons. Right? It is under the ownership of joint effort of government as well as individual person. That is called joint sector industries. Joint sector industries like KNB, that is also a joint sector industry which is owned and managed by the government and the private. Next category is food loose industries. I already told you that these industries do not depend upon any specific raw material. They can be located at any places. Raw material is not so important in the location of such type of industries. Many industries like uh, electrical industries are based on are considered as food loose industries because they are based on very light material that can be transported to far off places, and the transportation cost is also low. So these are largely depend on components parts like they employ small labor force and produce in small quantity. Now there are some traditional large scale industrial regions. Traditional large-scale industries are mostly heavy industries located coal fields near the coal fields because they use the coal as their raw material, and coal is very heavy and bulky. So if we have to transport the coal to the far off distances, its cost will be higher. So most of the industries based on coal, they tend to locate near the coal areas like metal smelting, heavy engineering, chemical manufacturing, textile production, iron and steel. All these industries are located near the coal fields. The main features of such type of industries are high employment. Many skilled and unskilled laborers are required in such type of industries. High density of housing but poor services. Housing facilities is provided to the labor, but they are not so good condition. Unattractive environment due to the population, and due to the bad housing facility, there is an unattractive environment. Pollution is there, and waste heaps can be seen in the surrounding areas. Due to these problems, many industries are closed, and when the industries are closed, they lead to unemployment, emigration, and wasteland. So many of the persons became unemployed due to the closing of these industries, and they began to migrate to another areas. Right? So high proportion of employment is generated by these industries earlier, but now it providing unemployment to that area. These industries are also called smokestack industries because these are given the name traditional large scale industries, where the inputs or equipments are of old technology, and they produce a lot of smoke and they pollute the environment. That's why this type of industries which emit the lot of smoke and create the pollution, that are called smokestack industries. Right? Due to this advantage, that's why these industries are closed down now these days. Now we will focus on two industries. First is such type of industrial region. If we talked about the industrial region, there is a Ruhr coal field in Germany. Right? Now it is known as the Rust Bowl of coal. Why? Actually, In the earlier stage, this area was a major industrial region of Germany because it was rich in coal deposits. So many of iron ore industries, iron and steel industry tend to locate in that region. So it had a huge deposit of coal and iron ore in the initial stage, but now this industry began to shrink due to the declining demand of coal. Iron ore iron ore deposits are also exhausted due to the frequent and overuse of iron ore in this area. Industrial waste is also produced, and no doubt this iron and steel industry is also known as smokestack industry, and it creates the pollution. Now, at that time, rural region is producing 80% of steel production, but the new reason, as the iron and steel industries tend to decline due to the exhausting resources of coal and iron ore in that area. But this industrial region of Germany has emerged a new type of industries, like Opel car assembly plant is there, new chemical plants were established, universities are established in that area, and shopping centers are also established in that area, so that the importance of that area can be maintained. The next is high technology industry. High technology industries are also called high tech industry, and as its name suggests, it is highly technical and incorporates about advanced scientific and engineering research and development strategy, right? So it is based on highly scientific equipments and research. So no doubt it requires a skilled labor, right? So high skilled specialists are required. Professionals, the persons who engaged in this type of research and engineering, they are called white collars, right? So the persons who are involved in quaternary and quaternary activities like research technology, they are known as white collar. So they also required professionals, white collar workers, and they are also used number of labor which are called blue collar. Labor are called blue collar workers, right? So there are some examples of such type of industries. Now these robotics, computer aided designs, manufacturing, electronics, new chemicals, pharmaceuticals, all these included some scientific and engineering research, and they use high techniques, so they are called HTI, high tech industries. Now, there is a term technopolis. What do we mean by technopolis? This refers to the high-tech industries that are concentrated regionally, self-sustained and highly specialized, like Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley near San Francisco and Silicon Forest near Seattle. They are the region where these industries tends to be located. So that region where they are in these industries, these specialized industries are concentrated, they are in that region are known as technopolis. Now, one example we will do in this chapter for the iron and steel industry and the cotton and textile industry. Iron and steel industries, what are the characteristics of iron and steel industry? First of all, it is a basic industry because it provides the base for the other industries, aluminum industries, machineries. So all these industries use the iron and steel as their raw material. So it is the basic industries, and it is known as the iron is known as the backbone of an economy, because from the needle to aeroplane, in almost all the machineries use the iron ore, iron and steel. So this is a basic industry, and it is also a heavy industry because iron ore, coal, all the minerals which is used in this industry are of heavy and bulky. That's why this is also called heavy industries. And as well as the goods produced in it, means output of this industry is also heavy. So these are called heavy industries as well as basic industries. That's why these industries tends to locate the sources of raw materials, because the raw material used in these industries are heavy and bulky, such as iron ore, coal, manganese, and limestone. So it produce heavy material. Raw material which we use in iron and steel industries are: first coal, second limestone, coke, iron ore, and manganese. These are some of materials, raw materials, which the iron ore and steel industry used. Now, what are the feature of iron and steel industries? First, I told you that these industries located nearby raw material or near the ports, right? Because the output is also heavy. So these industries need cheap and efficient transport facilities. So they stands to locate near the railway station, railways, or near the ports. Second, many steel industries are located nearby the market, so that the output can be easily transported to the markets. Located nearby integrated steel plants are plants for scrap. Next is mini mills. As compared to large integrated steel plants, mini mills are gaining importance as they make steel from scrap metal that is present in abundance. Scrap metals means as like if we are using any type of machinery, any type of for example, we are using the cooler. When it becomes to burst, we sell it to the vendors, right? So they sell it into the scrap, and this scrap is again melted down and reproduced, right? So many mills use these scrap metals, and that is present in abundance, and that's why these mini mills are gaining importance, because they are not using the fresh iron ore, but the scrap is used in this type of mills. Now the distribution where these industries are found, mainly the main developed countries like America, UK, Germany, France, Belgium, Ukraine, Japan, and some of developing countries like China, India. In India, Jamshedpur, Durgapur, and Rourkela. These industries tend to be located near the iron ore or coal fields. The second large scale industry is cotton textile industry. Cotton textile industry have a number of procedures, right? So knitting, weaving, dyeing, right? So stitching, all these processes are done in the cotton textile industry. This industry has three subsectors. First is handloom, where the product is produced by the hands. So it is a labor intensive sector and employed some semi and semi skilled workers, right? So some semi skilled workers are employed because it is a labor intensive, and the work is done in the on the small scale, so it requires small capital investments, and the process involving in the handloom is spinning, weaving, and finishing of the fabrics. This type of handlooms can be seen in the Panipat also, where these type of handlooms are established in the houses also by the people, right? Second is power loom. This is less labor intensive because most of the production is done by the machines, right? So the use of machine is more in this power looms. Big looms are used to produce the fabric. So when the machinery is used to production, the production will be more. The third is mill sector. It is highly capital intensive. The cloth is produced in the mills and requires good quality raw cotton and produced in bulk, because the production is for the market purposes. So they use good quality cotton, and the production is bulk. The distribution of cotton textile industry. are mostly established in India, China, USA, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and Egypt, who produce more than half of the world's raw cotton. That's why these industries tend to locate in those regions where the cotton as a raw material cotton is easily found in the surrounding area, right? So if we talked about the India, it is located in Ahmedabad, right? Because the Gujarat is very much the raw material, the cotton can be produced in Gujarat, right? So raw material is already available from the surrounding area. Moreover, these industries tend to located in those areas where the environment is suitable to the cotton textile industry. Normally, they are located near the sea area or near the water bodies, so that where the water can be easily provided. Secondly, that climate is moderate, so that the thread cannot be brought down again and again. In spite of all this, UK, Northwest Europe, Japan also produce textiles, but they import raw material, means cotton is not grown locally. Industries facing now these days, cotton textile industry is declining due to the stiff competition with the synthetic fiber. There are some synthetic fiber, polyester, polyethylene, all these synthetic fibers are very cheap and durable as compared to cotton. So this industry have to face the stiff competition with this synthetic fiber. That's why this industry is declining due to the technology. It is shifted to the less developed country, right? So here we have completed our chapter number 6. Now, if you have any doubt regarding this chapter, you can ask. Students, if you have any doubt regarding this chapter, you can raise your hand. Janvi, Gaurav Sandhu, Kirti, Vanshika, Bhumi, Jatin. Unmute yourself, beta. If you have understood, raise your hand. If you are not unable to unmute yourself, raise your hand. Gaurav, Kirti, Vanshika, what about you? Have you understood? Good. Gaurav, if you have understood, raise your hand. Kirti. Okay, good. Now you have to prepare the notes, right? Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask, right? Anytime. Prepare the notes, and after that, see what can be the question and in which question you have to give what type of answer.
हेलो
हेलो
हाँ जी मैम
सर चैप्टर कंप्लीट हो गया
ओके एंड द मीटिंग
यस